M. Rusciano.
The conspiracy theories are off their tits. And you know I love conspiracy theory. I mean, fact.
And Michael Lucas.
My body did less great things, but it still did the job.
This is Emsolation.
So the algorithms really know me. I feel so seen. I got an Apple News alert about the syphilis outbreak. They really get me.
You're in Emsolation.
Hello, my darlings. Welcome to Emsolation. I'm back. I'm sorry it's not Michael doing the intro again, but he doesn't want to do it. I said, look, if you want to do the intro for a few weeks, he said, no, I talked too fast. I didn't like it. It was very sweet. If you haven't seen the full reaction video, it is available on our YouTube channel. I should have been sus when Liam, our videographer, and Ben and everyone who'd already heard it, because I didn't listen to it, said to me, oh, can you just film yourself when you're listening? I was like, what? Why? But anyway, it was very lovely. Yeah, I do love me some Michael Lucas. How are you, though? If you're coming to us from New South Wales, if you're coming in, if you're tuning in, I'm sorry. It's really shit. And we know, like, I'm a 6 lockdown veteran. And all I can tell you is don't look too far into the future. Just wake up each day and just literally just be like, okay, what am I doing next? What am I doing next? Don't look too far into the future. Purchase yourself some cute matching trackies. I can tell you that brought me so much joy finding myself online weird little quirky matching trackies. So do that. Be kind to yourselves and don't should yourself. Don't be like, oh, I should do this. I don't want to waste this. I've got to achieve this. Just don't. Just be really super gentle with yourself. This is the ultimate excuse. It's not an excuse, but it is in a way where you can say to yourself, you know what? It's a pandemic and we're in lockdown. I'm not going to be perfect today. I also wanted to give you, if you're in New South Wales, some watching content. Oh my God, I just have to tell you. It's 9:10 p.m. My medication has worn off. I've had a glass of wine. And honestly, how do I even focus right now? I've been watching. Okay, I'm getting back on track. We've recorded the podcast at night. And what you're about to hear is delirium because Michael has been frantically rewriting scenes for 5 bedrooms because Sydney cast can't get down to film. And oh my goodness. Okay, get with it, Em. I've been watching Luca on Disney. And it's the story of 2 little Italian mermen, for lack of a better term, or sea monsters who live in the ocean just outside of Porto Rosso, and they have a beautiful friendship, and the whole movie is kind of around this wonderful friendship between these 2 boys, and one of them, Berto, he's the me in the friendship. And Luca is the Michael Lucas, actually. And I sent Michael a little message and said, I am your Alberto. And if you've seen the movie, you'll understand why. One's quite sensible and one is emotional and pushes the sensible one to do things he's not comfortable with. But it's a beautiful movie and it makes me long for Italy. And if you're just looking for something to lose yourself in and have a bit of a teary, and there's a great character called Giulietta and her father, and it's just so wholesome and a bit funny, and Italy, and so it's Luca on Disney Plus. I've also been watching a lot of Soul, which is also on Disney Plus. This isn't a Disney ad, by the way. Soul is incredible. It stars Jamie Foxx, Angela Bassett, Tina Fey, and it's this stunning story about this jazz pianist who dies and then, goes halfway between earth and heaven, or the great beyond, they call it. It's no real religious connotations, and just learning about the stuff that lights you up on the inside. Long gone are the days where cartoons are just there to throw a roadrunner off a cliff and drop an amulet on its head. What are those things called that Wile E. Coyote drops? Hey Siri, what does Wile E. Coyote drop on Roadrunner's head?
Okay, I found this on the web for what does Wile E. Coyote drop on Roadrunner's head. Check it out.
No, but that's lazy Siri. It doesn't say. Anyway, the things what am I trying to say? What's the word? There's triangle weights and they've got the things written on it. I'm doing this because you're all going to be screaming at me. Coyote drop on Roadrunner. We're doing some live Googling. We're doing some live Googling. It's the Googling. It doesn't tell me. Oh, it doesn't tell me. I have to resolve this. It's in the tip. It's on the top of my tongue. What are they called? You're screaming it at your radio, at your phone. All right. I can't do it now. Okay. I'll look it up, and in the outro I'll tell you. Why was I talking about Wile E. Coyote dropping things on heads? Oh, yeah. Like, now, it feels like all the Pixar Disney cartoons want you to, like, question your very existence and have emotional existential breakdowns. You know what I mean? Sometimes I think I just need a superficial kind of... Because I always have to, like, emotionally steel myself when I sit down in front of a new Disney, Pixar, whatever it is, Coco. I cry in them all now. There hasn't been a Pixar release I haven't cried in ages. I've been watching, oh, my God, Lux Listing Sydney on Amazon Prime. Holy shit. Like, if you're a fan of Selling Sunset, and why wouldn't you be, because it's an amazing show, this is Sydney's version. This is Australia's version. And these, like, the real estate agents are so, like, unhumanly immaculate and shiny and tanned and pristine. And some of the houses are banana. It is bonkers. We're talking $20 million houses, you know, like in Vaucluse. It's just like, it's crazy money. It's money we'll never see. We'll never know. Imagine just like your budget. What's your budget on your house? 20 mil? It's just rare. And it's the only way where I'm ever going to see those type of houses, really. Oh, my God, I love it. I'm obsessed. I love it. I've been watching Domina on Stan. I love it. I've also been doing Drag Race All-Star Season 6, and I've inhaled the new season of Atypical. I am a combination of Sam and his sister. If you could combine Sam and Casey into one person, that was me at high school, just so you get a picture. So they're the things. Looker, Soul, Lux Listing Sydney, Domina, Drag Race All-Star Season 6 and Atypical. There's things for you to watch. New South Wales, that's what I was getting at, wasn't it? Holy shit. All right, that's enough from me. I'm going to throw to Michael Lucas and I'm just thinking about, we talked a lot about K-Rudd slapping everyone down on Twitter. We were highly amused. There's not going to be any videos this week because I have a rotten eye infection. I'll put a photo up so you know I'm not faking. But I've got this huge sty on my left eye. It's so unattractive. You don't understand. And I just said to Liam, I can't do videos this week. So I'm not even wearing a bra. Right now I'm sitting here in like a tie-dye jumper and no bra and ultra pajama pants with a hole in the bum. I am glamour. All right, this podcast is going to be 2 hours long. Okay, good. All right, look after yourselves. Stay safe. Oh, merch is going on sale Friday. Hoodies, T-shirts. I'll talk about it in the outro. I can't now. Love you. Play the music.
M. Luciano and Michael Lucas. This is Emsolation.
Hello, Michael Lucas.
Hello, Amelia Rossiano.
So much to catch up on. Obviously, we had last week off because of our cat interview, and I feel like I need to formally acknowledge to you your intro. Did you always plan to go spiritually and emotionally and existentially deep on my parenting?
No, I just legitimately thought about, you know, what people would want to know. And obviously people would want to know, you know, what's she like in real life? And it is tricky with you because I do genuinely believe that you're actually quite a lot like you are how you are on screen. It's just there are other dimensions. So I had to dig into the other dimensions. So, yeah, no, it wasn't some mission to like, you know, I mean, you know, there's always a part of me that wants to make you cry. But no, that wasn't my primary motivation. I was just trying to give the information as best I could.
Oh, well, you did a great job. It was very kind. Thank you.
I think I was speaking a bit too fast. I've listened back to it and I think, slow down, mate. Slow down.
Look, it takes years to sound like you don't give a fuck when you talk into a microphone. You know, it takes years to develop this kind of lackadaisical staccato when you speak. My first time on radio, oh my God, I read every single word I wrote. It was crazy. So you did great. It was very good. We got lots of great feedback. And I said to you, do you want to take over intros? And you're like, no, I'm good, thanks.
Well, but just partially because you have an ability to just talk and be interesting by yourself very regularly. I mean, if I'm asked to do that with not much stimulus, like, you know, every fortnight, I don't know what the hell I'm going to be talking about.
I also want to pick you up on the fact that your face, you're currently rocking a mustache with slightly shorter hair. I see you quite regularly, but I was talking to Marcella about it, my daughter. That's an old-fashioned radio reset for someone who's new to the podcast, and I shouldn't assume they know who Marcella is. I'm just giving you some tips. You can change your look in such a quick fashion. Like, you can look super thin one week and then maybe a bit more voluptuous the next, then back to super thin. You can grow a mullet. It seems you can grow a mullet in a weekend, and then you're back to short sides. And I said to that bitch changes his look like more than any other man I've ever known. But do you consciously change the look? Do you wake up and go, this is who I am this week? Or is it an unconscious thing?
There's really no strategy. I think that is evident if you see especially my attire. No, I am blessed / cursed with hair that grows extremely fast. Really, really fast. Like I basically need a haircut every 5 weeks, and it's only dawned on me recently that is not the case with other people. No. But I'm ready for a haircut every 5 weeks, and my facial hair grows fast. And also, yes, it is true. I particularly put on weight very, very, very quickly.
You lose it just as quick. You do.
Okay, well, yeah, but also it's a bit like with a dude. I mean, you know, if you change up the facial hair, you know, take off a beard, things change so quickly. It's like a game of Guess Who. That's basically what it's like. And I get bored of myself, but not bored enough that I'll ever buy a new T-shirt. Just bored enough that I'll change my facial hair.
Oh, my God.
You change your hair, not by my rapid standards, but I don't change my hair colour or anything like that. But you go for the big sort of like 6 monthly change.
But that was my ADHD, I now know. All that stuff was, kind of feeding that need for constant change and stimulation. I've found since my diagnosis and therapy and medication, I'm quite content that's why I cut my hair off quite short. It's natural, no dye in it for the first time in my life.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And also, I don't feel the need to post on social media as much. And I've really felt a deep desire to get in touch with kind of who I am away from that all and learn about her. So I'm putting more kind of third-party stuff online rather. I also have a massive like sty on my face, so I haven't been doing a lot of videos because of that.
Yeah, that would be a contributing factor for sure.
For sure. But look, all things aside, God, what a riveting start to this week's episode. Let me have a sip.
It's a good thing nothing has happened in the nation that is Australia over the past few weeks. So people were excited to hear about my facial hair and your sty.
My sty? Oh my God, we are middle-aged. Eventually. No, what I want to talk about, I mean, obviously the biggest news, all eyes on Sydney. All eyes on Sydney. And you did point out, we have had a discussion that the unicorn of death made this prediction.
Wow.
I mean, I know you want to say it, go for it.
I just have to bow down in front of the unicorn because I'll be completely honest with you. The unicorn of death came out with the predictions that Sydney was going to have a massive outbreak. We're talking 18 months ago. The unicorn started. I doubted it every step of the way. I really didn't think it was going to happen. But what is amazing is the unicorn of death knew so much that you have taken on this news. Like there's no I told you so. There's just a quiet sort of knew it. Like you saw it. Like you've already had the vision of all of this.
Yeah, but not only I have and made peace with it, but I didn't want it to happen.
No, of course not. No, there's no sense of, I don't know, schadenfreude or anything like that. It's just kind of like, this was what was coming.
And I'll tell you why, because I really studied it and read it all, and I could see how slack they were with lockdowns and how Gladys was making the mistake of, calling herself the non-lockdown premier, and she's keeping the economy going in business. And I'm like, yeah, this is all well and good, but what happens when the virus, because there was a lot of articles around that time, obviously, for the fear-mongering, it's going to mutate, there'll be new strains, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what happens when another strain comes? Melbourne, we're ready to go. We can lock down, we can shut up shop,
get it done. Whereas Sydney...
Oh, I'm walking around with my mask on just by force of habit.
100%. And all I see from my friends in Sydney, I see online, and Jan, Fran, everyone I know in Sydney posting Bondi Beach packed, Manly Beach packed. Some shops are still open. Like Adairs is at Kmart. Gucci's open by appointment only. That's like when Gucci's open during a pandemic, you're taking the piss. And that's why I was afraid for Sydney. And that's what's happening.
It was a deep knowing. It's like in the Terminator franchise, if you were Sarah Connor, she wouldn't be all like manic and crazy. She'd just be like holding a gin going, yeah, that's the nuclear war's coming.
Doing a bicep curl in the other arm, holding a gin. Oh my God. They're my arms. Like Michelle Obama briefly took on the arm mantle, but Linda Hamilton.
Oh, the original and the best, yeah.
In Terminator 2, Sarah Connor.
So what do you think, Doctor? I have shown improvement, haven't I?
Oh, God. And have you seen the new Terminator when what she's like in the most recent incarnation of Terminator?
Yeah, she looks like power middle-aged lesbian, and I adore it.
I'm sticking her on my dream board.
I haven't seen the movie because I've heard it's terrible. And
It's terrible.
Yeah, right, okay.
It's so bad. Like, Scott and I had to put the mute button on for a bit. Like, it was too much, but some of her lines were amazing.
Sometimes mommies and daddies have to have grown-up discussions.
Anyway, so obviously all eyes on Sydney and all eyes on Gladys.
Oh, Gladys, the woman that saved Australia. That was the headline.
Was that the headline?
There was a cover of I think it was a magazine cover from the Australian Financial Review or something like that, and it was her sitting in this plush couch and she's wearing an amazing suit. She was looking at camera. I'm doing the face now. It was sort of like it was just sort of a knowing face, and the headline was "The Woman That Saved Australia." But also, I mean, there are so many interviews that are coming back. And obviously, shit happens. In retrospect, should she have locked down? I don't think anyone's going to deny you. But there's some interviews. Like there was one interview that they dug up where she was saying, I really feel for the people of Victoria and I fear for what the government will do for them. And I just hope that Sydney stands as an example to the rest of the nation that you don't have to lock down. You can manage outbreaks. And the fall from grace. The fall.
Just didn't age well, did it? None of that stuff.
Really didn't.
Like a 1990s teen rom-com. Did not age well, Gladys.
And now she's condemned. She has to do a press conference every day. She can't blink. She can't not show up. And I'm watching them.
I know you are.
I'm watching them even though, it's just, I don't know what's wrong. I'm obsessed with Gladys and more so Kerry Chant.
Oh, can we talk about Kez Dog? Oh.
Keza.
She's their Brett Sutton.
She is.
Is Brett Sutton with a most sensible, handsome, calming woman. Tall woman. A tall woman. She'd shop at Country Road. I see it now. She'd own linen, but she doesn't bring it out for the press conferences because it creases when you sweat. But my God, that woman is immaculate, but also a bit of a dork.
Oh, a bit of a dork. I love it. So we are obsessed with her pronunciation of names. And so when she reads the venue lists, oh man, it's a level of entertainment bliss. Like just hearing her voice say the Paddington Alimentari, the Pasta Italiana Cucina. It's not. Obviously, it's terrible to have an outbreak. Absolutely horrible. We know what it's like, but you've got to take the pleasure where you can find it. And Kerry Chant, the only thing that could have made her delivery of place names better was her spectacle work. And
during a very serious press conference, and honestly it was serious, they were talking about ICU patients, the whole bit was escalating. Kez Dog pulled her glasses out and they were just flat out missing an arm.
Yep.
And my glasses broke, but that's okay. All right. Sorry, this will make this is a very serious topic, so please don't be distracted by that.
And then she didn't just hold them up. Like, I probably would have held them up, like a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
But she put them on her face.
Offered a disclaimer. I hope this isn't distracting because what I'm about to read is very serious.
And imagine, putting on a pair of glasses with only one arm. What's going to happen to your glasses?
Oh, it was askew like you wouldn't believe.
She pressed on, but don't get distracted.
Oh, she really did. And it was just like, and also keep in mind, she as well, along with Gladys, was the most celebrated CHO in Australia for her approach to this. Like, she was
She won Woman of the Year, didn't she, last year?
Woman of the Year. And so this outbreak, which, look, there's no getting around it. A lot of the decisions they made has not aged well to be standing there with your glasses. But I really felt for her, especially because I know what I'm like when I'm in a crazy work friend. Like, she's in the kind of work frenzy, you know what it's like, where you wear the bathers for undies. Like, she's there.
Mate, you do whatever it takes. Get it.
You have fry 2-minute noodles for a meal. Like, you just...
If that. Yes, you put them in your mouth and hold them there for 2 minutes to make them soft. I've done it. Pour the seasoning in after. Snort it if you have to. Poor Kez. Oh, we'll get the footage. We'll make sure Marcella puts it up. But, my God. So you've got Glad Dog and Kez Dog.
Oh, Brad has it as well. He comes up. What do you do? Paraphrases, occasionally goes off script. Like, how is his bit like the virus may well have to circulate in the community? I would love to have been in on the conversation that Gladys had with him after that one.
How's him literally saying, oh, well, if this lockdown doesn't work, fuck it.
Oh, man.
It's here to stay. What a statement. He's just given up. He's just flat out going, fuck it, I don't know what to do, guys. No. It's your job to know what to do. Oh, my God. Can you imagine the cabinet meetings at the moment? Can you imagine? Oh, my God.
The tension. Because it's well reported now that there are aspects of that cabinet, or there are elements in there that really were suggesting that they should just let the Delta go. Mm-hmm. And so that is a tense. Sometimes I've been in meetings at work that have gone wrong where people are acting like it's life and death. In that one, it really was. Oh, man.
I know. But, I mean, politicians in this country are having an absolute fucking shit show. This last week, if you were an alien watching and trying to pick a country to invade, we're the weakest. We're sitting ducks. Our government have lost their collective minds, and you and I have been obsessed with the PM wars. Obsessed. Kevin Rudd, Malcom Turnball, a sprinkling of Dutton and Scomo have been in this weird kind of Byron Bay mumptrepreneur influencer linen shop wars. I'm
going to put in Greg Hunt. Let's just whack him in there too.
Greg Hunt, our national chief health minister. Yes. So, all right, I've done a deep dive because I want everyone to be on the same page before we discuss. So, here we go. On Friday, July the 9th, our PM Scomo went on a bit of a puffy chest media junket saying that his government had secured and fast-tracked shipment of the Pfizer vaccine. And then Pfizer got wind of this and they came out and went, nah, dickhead, this was always the plan. We're on track. We're on our timeline. Wrong.com. And then Scomo held another presser and said, nah, they're coming sooner than expected because of me. Okay, thanks, bye. Here he is on 2GB making the claim.
So you don't think it would have made any difference to pick up the phone to Joe Biden or the global head of Pfizer, for example? You don't think it would have made any difference as far as getting extra supplies?
I had a meeting with one of the most senior directors of global Pfizer when I was in Paris.
And was he receptive to the fact of us getting extra supplies and backing us in?
Yeah, they were all very aware of what we were putting forward, and those discussions always revealed that what has been put forward out of Australia is well understood, and that's why we've been able to bring forward the doses. See, I mean, the proof of these things is in the eating, and that is when we sought the additional supplies to bring them forward, to bring forward those supplies, and that's what's happened.
So then, he's gone on to say Health Minister Hunt and CMO Brendan Murphy have been working directly with Pfizer. And Pfizer's like, nope, haven't heard from them. And that's when we enter player K. Rudd.
And what an entry it was.
So Scomo's been gloating everywhere about, how I fast-tracked the Pfizer, I'm a hero. And then K. Rudd wrote a letter to him about a phone conversation that he had with Albert Barula, who is the Global Chief Executive Officer of Pfizer, like the big dog. He's a vet too, which is a strange thing. Anyway, He's written a letter to Scomo and said, look, I've had a chat with this dude, with Albert, and basically I asked about the possibility of more vaccines for Australia, and he said, in response to my representation, Pfizer will do what they can, but they need to hear from some more senior officials from your government, because apparently this Albert dude was pissy that he was getting low-level Australian government members contacting Pfizer and not the big dog Scomo, which is a little bit terrifying that the leader of a major pharma is pissy about not being contacted by the big dog, so he's withholding vital vaccines from our country, but I digress. So,
just want to congratulate you for impersonating Kevin Rudd so that he sounds like Effie. And in my mind, I have just put Effie in the meeting with the Pfizer boss instead of Rudd, and it really works for me. We continue.
So he sent the letter to Scomo saying, I'm a hero, I had a meeting, they're willing to talk to you, you need to reach out to Albert. And somehow this letter, oh my God, I don't know how, got leaked to the ABC.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it.
Something associated with Kevin Rudd that makes him look good just accidentally leaks that's bad for his enemies? I just don't know.
So that's come out, and then Dutton has chimed in and gone, whatever, dude, not true. Pfizer says no. And then Kevin Rudd's come back, and the statement of all statements, basically, I love this so much. Mr. Rudd spoke to the global head of Pfizer as a concerned citizen, not a representative of the Australian federal government. Mr. Rudd would definitely not seek to associate himself with the Australian government's comprehensively botched vaccine procurement program. Drop mic.
Boom. Oh, go Kev.
He's just such a little bitch.
Oh, and Malcom. Let's not forget Malcom.
Yeah, you go, yeah.
Well, he took to Twitter. Hang on, wait. Lord John live Googling. Wait a minute.
I love live Googling. Yeah, Malcom weighed in, which is what you want. Another ex-Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Do you know, while you're Googling, the thing that concerns me is why isn't Albo slinging these? Like, why didn't Kevin Rudd give Albo a heads up on this and so he could have gone on the attack? Because this is what Albo needs to be doing right now. He has been given a gift in the form of fucked up Pfizer vaccine rollout, and he's been very quiet.
I know. Okay, here we go.
Go.
Malcolm just came in with the thank you, Mr. K. Rudd, for speaking to the chairman of Pfizer to secure an earlier delivery of vaccines. Staggered the vaccination of Australians was apparently not important enough to warrant a call from Scott Morrison MP or Greg Hunt MP to the Pfizer box. Oh! Woo! It is...
Pew, 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 pew!
It's real. It's Real Housewives.
It totally is.
Unbelievable.
I know. Oh. So I have so much to talk about on this because I really did do a deep dive on everything. And basically, when Scomo and Hunt were asked, I did say Hunt, have you phoned the head of Pfizer? Like, have you made the big call? Both of them were like, nah. We've just been speaking to the local rep. It's like they're dealing with the Avon lady in their area and not like the head of Avon. Do you know what I mean? Like They needed to call the head of Avon. And this has just shown, even if K. Rudd's kind of intervention didn't do anything, what it did expose was the fact that our fucking Prime Minister did jack shit. This is what it exposes. Kevin Rudd was the first senior member of government or ex-Prime Minister that actually went to the head of Pfizer and said, dude, we need help. Why? That's the first thing. Because obviously our vaccine rollout has been an unmitigated disaster. Like, there's no spinning that. We are the least vaccinated country among all advanced economies, all of them. My favourite podcast, The Daily, made an example of us on how not to roll out.
I know. We were there, us and Bangladesh.
Oh, my God. Now, I'm going to be fair to Scomo right now. I don't know if we deserve our last standing, and here's why. So the ranking, this is how far I went. I went and read the ranking list and then all the conditions around it, okay? So basically, the ranking list doesn't address the probable hoarding and withholding of the best vaccines that the EU did, which they did do. It doesn't acknowledge which vaccines are actually being used because, like Russia has its own, the Sputnik, so that's easy to access. And we don't make one. We don't actually make one of our own like the other big countries do. So there's a few things working against us.
That's fair enough. That's grounds for us being last, though. That's on us if we don't make it.
Yeah, but some would argue they're richer countries, bigger economies and more powerful. Do you know what I mean? Within the developed countries.
We make the old school one, but we just can't make the new fangled
one. No. So I went and found a country that we could be compared to, which was Israel. And they don't make a vaccine. And they have vaccinated 65% of their population of 9.1 million.
And pray tell, did their leader go and woo the head of Pfizer?
30 times. 30 times he called. So at the time, the PM was Benjamin Netanyahu, who's no longer Prime Minister of Israel anymore, but at the time he was. And Albert Bourla from Pfizer actually said, I was impressed, frankly, with the obsession of your PM. I got 30 calls. So 30 calls versus donuts from ours.
Wow.
And not only that, Bulla has also, he loves a chat, Albert. He spoke about how he's dealt with other world leaders. He spoke to the Japanese PM and got 50 million more doses for them. Old mate Justin Trudeau phoned, got him on the blower. He got more for Canada. Everybody's blowing up Albert's phone, but our guy, fucking hell. First of all, he's like, you guys are going to be at the front of the list. Then he's like, it's not a race. And then he's like, yeah, it's coming to Christmas. Which one is it?
I feel like often as Australians, we're not very good at the ovations to the big international things. It was always like, do you remember when Hey Hey at Saturday the Midday Show would interview some sort of global icon and they would present some sort of Australian gift to them? And it was always...
They'd present Pixie Ann Wheatley to interview them?
Present that, but then often it's like, and we've given you, it's a pair of booties in the shape of Australia, and you'd watch someone going, oh, thank you so much. And that's what I imagine's happening to that. Well, clearly not even that's happening to the Pfizer dude. He's just got Rudd.
Well, it has been. I was reading a lot of subtext, and a lot of people have suggested that Albert's got a massive ego because he's essentially the most powerful man in the world at the moment, the global CEO of Pfizer.
Oh, if you had any instinct for a power trip, if that was you in your DNA, imagine ending up being the guardian of the best vaccine in an unprecedented global pandemic. I mean, my God.
Oh, see, this guy's just taking calls. And then some intern, some fucking Gen Z intern at the office of Scott Morrison's ringing in, and he's like, I don't know what his accent is. I think he's Greek. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? I don't speak to them. I can't believe that Scomo didn't put in a call. So he got his first call from the Japanese PM in July of 2020. We didn't make any contact at all until November, and still it wasn't Scomo. Oh. And so it's taken K-Rudd 2 weeks ago. K-Rudd is the first senior official he's heard from. And that's all it took to massage this guy's, obviously, fragile ego to agree to help us out. This is unconscionable.
How could it not have been a priority? Scomo should have been there right away. He should have had Kylie Minogue, Hugh Jackman with him.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
No, he's Greek. Who's our biggest Greek export? Nick Giannopoulos.
I feel like Tina Arena, would she be popular?
Tina Arena's Italian. How dare you?
No, okay, let's just edit that out.
No, it's fine. What I did learn was that to vaccinate our entire country, it would have cost $780 million US. And that is not that large considering the amount we have spent on COVID relief packages in this country. So Scomo had just gone, I'll just have one for everyone, 20 mil vaccines, thanks. Say there's 20 million people over the age of 18 in this country. This is the former head of Pfizer distribution has come out and said the Australian government's reaction, quite frankly, has blown our minds. And he could have nipped this in the bud.
I do not understand why you wouldn't just panic buy multiples to cover the entire population.
Because he was banking on the fact that
AstraZeneca was going to work.
Yeah, and also that there's a bit of complacency there. It wasn't, there weren't people, like in India and other countries, there weren't people literally dying on the doorsteps of hospitals. So I think there's a bit of complacency there. Look, it's really complex. There's a lot of things in play that we will never know or understand because big pharma and government, that's some murky waters, man. I mean, that's some
I do keep on thinking about it from the Pfizer perspective. Just the employees going, have you been following what's been happening in Australia? This purchase that is stoked with enormous gravity to vaccinate their population has turned into an unprecedented bitch fight. It's just...
I can't believe... Think about it. Dutton, Hunt, Turnball, Rudd are all bitch slapping it out in the public arena. It's wild.
I know, it's absolutely wild. It's like one of those American daytime talk shows where people would grab hair and rip off wigs and stuff like that. It is absolutely insane. And you know what? And I think we all went through this. At the first sniff of it, it was like, oh, for God's sake, just.
I did. I tweeted that.
Then once it got really savage, it's like, okay, well, if we're here, just keep delivering those acid lines because I am living for this.
Fucking 100%. I called them all dickheads. I'm like, stop with the Pfizer pissing contest. Let's do this. And then as soon as you sent me K-Rud's scathing, spicy end line, I was like, okay, game on, moles. This is fun. Let's do it. We're already in it. We're already fucked. We may as well be entertained.
Yeah.
And I want to make a prediction.
Oh, is this in the capacity of the Unicorn of Death?
The Magical Unicorn of Death is speaking, and I want to let you know that I do think Scomo is genuinely in trouble at the next election.
Thank God.
Genuinely.
If we were both running for Prime Minister against each other, I would cede.
I fucking wouldn't.
I know, and that's why you should
I would make a better leader.
Imagine the campaign.
Oh my God. All right, we need to move on from this.
M. Rusciano and Michael Lucas. This is Emsolation.
To something way more pleasant, actually. Ash Barty. Oh. New Wimbledon champion.
Oh.
And look, I'm going to say, I'm going to call her a mate. She's a mate of mine.
I saw. Oh.
No, well, it turns out a couple members of her, I think one of her sisters is a big fan of mine. And also we had the same manager for a little bit of time, a wonderful woman named Nikki. Helped me out for a bit when I was kind of lost at sea, one of those times. And I always heard stories of Ash, and this was kind of in the time where Ash took a break from tennis because she won Junior Wimbledon, and like at 17 she was kind of burnt out, and she's from this amazing family. They live just outside of Brisbane. And she quit. She packed up tennis and went home because she missed her family and she was miserable. And she, of course, took up cricket and then, like, became a rep cricketer. And she's also, like, an amazing golfer. She's a freak. But my favourite part of the Ash Barty story is tennis doesn't really define her. Like, that's my favourite thing. She's just so impressive.
Oh, so impressive. Wish she was like the Labor Party. I did. I wish I could say I did. And it got enormous ratings. No, but I didn't watch. But then afterwards, I sort of watched the highlights and including the last 10 minutes of the match. And even without being there for the whole thing, I still burst out crying when she won. I really did.
That moment where she realised and she dropped to her knees.
I know.
So human.
Oh, my God. And then racing up into the crowd.
And we all dropped to our knees with her. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps just even saying it out loud.
And when she said that she hoped she made Yvonne Goolagong proud. And
oh, my God. What a moment. And I watched a video of Yvonne today and she was just beside herself with pride. And the fact that Yvonne was the last, like she's Ash's absolute idol, mentor, hero. She's the last woman to have won Wimbledon.
I know.
All the stars were aligning. It was NAIDOC week.
I know. It was the last week of NAIDOC week. It was unbelievable.
Everything aligned. And you're going to laugh at this. She's got a mindset coach, Ben Crow, who I'm desperately trying to woo him to be my mindset coach.
Hang on, wait. Just to put you in the right frame of mind. Is that what it is? What's a mindset coach as opposed to anything else?
A mindset coach is exactly that. A mindset coach is someone who constantly helps you remain present, keep on track, not take things and internalize them, turn your attitude around.
I think I could apply for this job.
You could. My husband, actually, to be fair, is my mindset coach. I just don't listen to him as much as I should. Oh, my God, I hope he never listens to this. My husband's job is the same as that. He does the same thing for high-powered executives and sports people and everyday people too. But it's this idea, and I went and did a deep dive on him, on Ben, and he says things like, wait, let me just refresh my notes. We are the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves. And playing tennis is what she does, not who she is.
Who she is. Oh, profound. But you know what? She is evidently, I don't know how much of it is just her natural being or his coaching, but the massive takeaway from her, apart from her unbelievable talent, is just how incredibly balanced and what a good sense of perspective she has. It is crazy. I would kill for it. I mean, has she ever had a tantrum?
No, well, she attributes all this to him. I mean, She said she was kind of broken. She was traveling heaps. She was away from her family. She was miserable. She wasn't enjoying tennis. everything was affecting her. She was super sensitive, always upset. And then to just quit, because tennis is a full-time job as a junior, because you start rising up the ranks literally as an 8-year-old. And to walk away after winning like junior Wimbledon and making the doubles final, I think it was with Casey Delacroix in the US Open, testing me. Then some of my secret sport nerd comes out, and I really respect walking away from something that you are literally on the precipice of what you've worked your whole life for, and her family totally supported that, because so often in tennis we see these psychotic fathers.
Oh, I know.
And her family supported her. They took her back in, and she just wanted to be a normal teenager. At 17, she said enough. And I think that speaks a lot to her character. And so when she decided to come back, she got this mindset coach who's worked with the Australian cricket team. He's worked with surfers. And basically, she became a better player when she was able to separate herself from tennis and develop who she is away from tennis, so that when tennis went wrong, it didn't affect her self-esteem. It didn't dictate her life and how she felt about her life. And if you can, and that can be applied to everyone's life. If you, that can easily, and I think you can see it in her when someone says, "Oh, you're disappointed." She's like, "Oh, I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll get on with it." Like,
I know. What is it? Better to be a good person than a good tennis player, and she drops things like that all the time.
She loves her. She's got this little niece. Her sister had a baby a couple of years ago. Like, she's so grounded and loved and supported that it doesn't matter if you lose. When you've got this great, when you're tethered to something strong, you'll go and you'll try things because you've always got that safety net behind you. And I just see that in her. Oh my God.
And I just love that she would be at this point the most beloved Australian at the moment. I can't think of anyone more beloved than her.
Michael.
I know, but that's part of what I love about it. I think that's why people love her as well.
Yeah.
And I love that it's her. I love that she's our national icon at the moment. We've cycled through over the decades. Many different figures have been sort of like the favourite Australian, from Paul Hogan through your Hugh Jackman's and whatnot, but I love that it's Ash Barty so much. I love how low-key she is and how the sense of balance, it is a sense of balance that I think I find so admirable.
And great for other young tennis players to see. That's the main thing for me, because I've known some tennis players and I've trained with them, and Scott's worked with a few tennis players, and they lose perspective, their families lose perspective, their coaches lose perspective, because it's big money. It's one of the richest sports. I mean, you win $17 million if you win the French Open. That's insane money. So, and Ash is richer beyond, she would be worth, I don't know, like $50-60 million now, but she's so low key, and she has time for everyone. Like I said, I sent her a message, a DM, after she won Wimbledon, and she responded almost instantly.
I know. I got chills.
That's wild. And her and I know each other only through our manager, and then her sisters come to my shows. I think Ash has been to see me live too. But what a wonderful human. I don't know. Anyway, we've gushed. We love her. We love you, Ash Barty. I'm just glad, she's a good hero for up-and-comers to look to. And also, a few of our male tennis players could take some notes out of Ash's book.
Not naming those. Oh. That's the essence of our relationship. Simultaneously me going, not naming names, and you spitting it out.
All right. Now, look, I do want to let everyone know you've had a very stressful week because of this Sydney lockdown. Are you allowed to talk about it?
Yeah. Well, yes. I've been, firstly, I'm incredibly lucky because I've been working on TV shows throughout the pandemic. The downside as a writer is when people get stuck in a lockdown, often you have to write out those characters really, really quickly. And we're in a situation right now where we're trying to get people out of Sydney, and there's an exemption process, and obviously we'll just abide by, if we're judged that we can get the cast members in, then we'll obviously take them, but if we can't, we accept it. But it's meant that I've had to go into this season of 5 bedrooms writing double scripts for we might get this cast member or we might not. So there's 2 different versions, and I've never had to do it before. And it is like writing a choose your own adventure, but it's so exhausting because in many ways you're writing something that you actually hope will never be produced. I hope we don't ever have to use this version without these characters. It is really, it's cooked, and
you've been cooked.
My eyes are falling out of my head. It's insane.
You cried.
I really thought I'd faced, in terms of production problems with the pandemic, I've had border closures. I've had many times where we've had to tell people just start packing your car and come now. All these sort of things. We've had all the PPE, or we've had to write out all kisses. We have to do research. And I came into this production going, I have faced everything you could face. Oh, I'll never say that again.
You were Gladys, quite frankly. You were Gladys.
I was.
Now you're learning.
Standard.
But also the other exciting thing is, and we've posted it everywhere, the Newsreader, we've got the first look preview. I just added the Kate Bush song because initially you were going to have that, but you didn't get it.
Beautiful.
So anywhere I post it, I'm just changing the music.
I'm going to be relentless on social media because there is a week in August, on August the 11th, 5-Bedroom Season 2 drops, and then August 15th, just a few days later, the Newsreader drops. I can't believe this has happened. I can't believe they're in the same week.
So proud of you.
But they have.
I can. You're going to have 2 shows on air, bitch.
I haven't had anything on air for over 2 years because of the pandemic, just to put it in perspective.
You're the Osher Gunsberg of screenwriters. Anyway, everyone has to watch the Newsreader. Everyone has to watch 5 Bedrooms. These are mandatory viewings. We're going to be talking about them, but it's really exciting.
If you're in Sydney, you're probably going to be locked down at that point anyway. So, yeah.
And we just want to state again, those main characters in the Newsreader are not Michael and I. I've already had multiple messages. Also, clearly that character's you. I'm like, no.
What? A fierce feminist woman in the media battling against dodgy old men who want to keep her down? I don't know why people will get that impression. Aided by her more placid male companion who tells her she's wonderful and tries to keep her in check. Where did it come from?
You are not helping.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I'm very proud of you. It's very exciting. We're going to go. We've really waffled because we're recording this at night. My meds have worn off and I've had a drink of wine and you've been going for like 10 hours. So this has been...
I actually woke up at 3:45 this morning and didn't get back to sleep because I had too many things on my mind. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't know how that feels. Okay, talk soon.
Bye.
This is Emsolation.
That's it. It was an anvil. Did I say that? Wile E. Coyote drops an anvil on the Roadrunner's head. Those triangle, like, weights with the numbers written on them in pounds. It's an anvil. Did I say amulet? I can't remember. It was too long ago. Oh, God. Anyway, it was an anvil. It's like I was close, you know? I hope you enjoyed that. I did a lot of talking, I realise. I tried to bring Michael in at the end. Like, I tried to ask him about his week because I realised I'd done all the talking. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be better. I'll be better next week. There'll be more balanced discussion. Hey, before you go, merch is going on sale. That's right. Our hoodies with the Magical Unicorn of Death and the Enchanted Seahorse of Hope will be going on sale on Friday. I don't know what time. Just be lurking at my website, mrussiano.com. There's also going to be Busy Working Mum t-shirts available. There's also going to be Maximalist Power Queen t-shirts available. There's also going to be totes. I'm pre-warning you now, there is going to be at least a 2-week wait on the hoodies, but just secure one because I'm predicting they're going to sell out very quickly, but it's not going to be a fast turnaround because I am one woman. They are made in Sydney. Sydney's doing it tough. My warehouse guys, only one of them allowed in there. Everything's going to be slower because of what's going on currently in New South Wales. So just bear with us, be patient, but it'll be worth it. mrussiano.com for all your merch needs. How exciting. Also want to remind you to get tickets to the Great Australian Podcast Festival. We are performing Emsolation live. My daughter Marcella will be there. Michael Lucas will be there. I'll be there. I'll probably sing some songs. I'll probably bring my dad. We're on at the Palais. If you just Google the Great Australian Podcast Festival, tickets are like $45. We're on the Sunday night at 8:30. And it's a live recording of your favourite podcast. Melbourne, why wouldn't you come and support us? We really want to outsell all the other podcasts. So can you please buy tickets? And like the tickets, I don't get the ticket sales. They go towards whoever. We're just getting paid to turn up. So I just want you to come. I just want like bums on seats. So please come. That's all I had to tell you. Yep, Anvil did that. Also, my tour is on sale, but I'm not going to talk about that for a bit because I have to get my head around it. But if you want to come see me live, please do. What else? That's it. Follow us on our Instagram page. Wow, I'm really scattered. I'm going to have to go to bed. Follow us on our Instagram page, which my daughter runs, and that's it. That's all I have for you. You've been a wonderful audience. If you got this far, my God, you are dedicated to us, and I appreciate it. Appreciate you. I see you. All right, I want to leave you with this. This is something that's really helped me. My takeaway from therapy
2 things. Are you listening? First of all, I want you to start each day and I want you to draw a square around yourself. And I want you to say, I'm going to protect my peace. Okay? If you need to write PMP on your hand, I've been doing that. Protect your peace. Draw the square around you, and basically anything that comes near you that could penetrate the square and damage your beautiful peace for that day, let it bounce off. Anytime you feel yourself getting riled up or draw it in, say to yourself, I'm protecting my peace right now. Fiercely protect your peace. Now, you can't do this every day, but some days you just got to really, really prioritize that. And I've been doing that, and I've been so happy. Someone will say something or do something, or I'll get something, an email or anything, and usually I would quickly respond. I have a gut response. But now, because I've got my little protect your peace square. And the other thing, my other takeaway from therapy, is that no amount of negative self-talk will get you to be better or rise to the occasion or achieve the goal you're after. You cannot talk yourself down to achieve anything. So just remember that. There's no point in berating yourself. There's no point in pulling yourself down or saying you're a bad person or you can't do this or you can't do that. And for me, as a perfectionist, and now I know why, that has been a massive wake up. That if you actually want to move forward and achieve something in your life, you're not going to do that by shitting on yourself the whole time. No one has ever done that or achieved that. So how's that? So what are we doing? What's our homework? Protect our peace. And you cannot move forward if you are bringing yourself down. Anvil. That's what we're going to call the episode. I've just decided. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'm delirious. Talk soon.
Emsolation with Em Rossiano is a Spotify exclusive podcast hosted by Em Rossiano with Michael Lucas. Executive produced by Benjamin Wasley. Produced by Em Rossiano. Edited by Mark Davila. With videos by Liam O'Brien. Socials by Marcella Rossiano Barrow. With assistance from Jim Evans and Georgia Watts. And occasional technical trickery and wizardry from Em's dad Vincy. Get more from Emsolation with Em Rossiano by following Emsolation Podcast on Instagram. You can also join our secret club by joining our Facebook group at Emsolation, and make sure you're following us on the Spotify app. We of course hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and we'll chat with you again soon.